here in the Man Cave. We also call this the Man Kave Experience, this show that we've created for, first of all, for us, for Cedric and I, just looking back when we started this, over 2 years ago now, just having the idea that manifested from my son of carrying on these conversations that were kind of as a result of becoming coaches and becoming friends and just in two different areas of the world, and just kind of deciding, hey, let's grow ourselves as men, knowing that there's opportunities for us to discuss topics that typically men don't talk about. So here we are. I'm sitting next to on the screen, not in person, but love the fact that my buddy Cedric's here with me. And so I'm checking. I'll do a quick check-in and let Ced kind of bring us up to date on where he's at. So for me, a lot of moving parts in my life, and I've shared most of those around, just nearing the end of my career, just some adjustments at home, growing my coaching practice, doing public speaking, a lot of different things going on. But each week that I think about doing this show and what opportunities are out there for us, as well as these little seeds that we can plant for others to learn from, to contemplate about, to maybe laugh at, or to maybe create some change in their lives. I think about just doing this each week and putting it out there in the world for all to experience, or whoever may want to experience that. It just feels like, just our willingness, for me, or my willingness just to commit to something like that. And that was kind of leading into what I'll introduce as far as the topic. But before I do that, I want to introduce my co-host, Ced Edison, who is, as you all know, just quite the eloquent man, loves to put his words out there, and just love to hear what's going on with you, Ced.
What's up? Y'all had to swallow, my bad. What's up, y'all, man? Glad y'all could join. What's up, man? Although we on two different screens, two different points, I always look forward to this, man, because I get to see you face to face and not just a voice. Man, I don't know if y'all can tell from the past couple shows, but I had to really dig deep to even show up and be present during this show. I was in it just has a lot of personal stuff going on, relationship, work, all that good stuff. But that's life, and we've worked through it, and we're in a good place, and I'm back, and I feel like I'm 100% present for y'all, man. And I apologize for life happening, and but I'm unapologetically me, and man, it's just good. I feel different. I feel brand new, like it's all new. And here we are, man, back in the cave, baby.
Nice. And I think we try to keep it real here. So just being point blank with Ced here, I had some concerns coming into our discussion tonight, and just kind of questioning from afar, and was going to have a conversation kind of off the record about just worrying about you, worrying about just kind of where you're at, just kind of me not seeing you give that best version of yourself, and almost feeling like finding excuses to not take actions in your life, and that kind of led me to kind of thinking about what we could speak about tonight. And again, just the topic that was resonating with me, kind of carried over into our conversation before we went recording here now, was about passion. And just about, I was, because I, kind of when I describe myself and my purpose in life, one of those things that I include is just being a passionate man. And so for me, that means, committed to something in your life that brings joy, brings positive energy. It makes you experience all of yourself. And there's nothing that's going to keep you from continuing to pursue that. And so when I was thinking about that, just kind of my definition of that, I was thinking of you, Ced, and just knowing that there's times where I've seen you very passionate and just not certain what was going to happen or what needed to happen for you to, you know, kind of gain that passion back, knowing that it's there, but where that energy was, right? We've talked about that. And the energy is never born, never lost. You know, where has that energy been, or where was it misplaced? So I'm just curious for you, when I talked about this topic, when I just kind of shared with you kind of, you know, blatantly saying, I'm questioning whether or not, you know, where your passion's at, and why you're not showing up in the way that I know you can. I'd love for you to just put it out there as far as, you know, you said unapologetically you. I want to hear that. I want to hear what you have to say as far as me putting that, you know, to you.
Whoa. Yeah, man. First thing that come to mind is, you know, I always have to, so everybody can, and that's me, I like to give it so you can see how I even got to this point, to make it make sense. But I never even heard the word passion coming up, you know, growing up. And in retrospect, you know, looking back, I could see, you know, there was one time where my mom's boyfriend at the time would tell me I wasn't going to be anything, told me I was going to end up like my brother in jail. And I knew I was going to, well, and really before that, like, I just knew I needed to do something with my life. And so I said I was going to the Marine Corps, and that's really what got me through boot camp. Because there was many days I wanted to quit, and I was just like, I cannot let this asshole be right. You know, I am not a piece of shit. I'm doing this, right? But up to that point, I had never heard the word passion or even thought anything. I didn't know what it was. I was just, F you, I'm doing this, right? And so I never really understood all of that stuff that was going in, and I never knew anything, really started hearing about passion until I enrolled in BAC. Well, you know, and a couple of months before that, listening to speakers and stuff, you know, they passion. I'm like, okay, well, you got to be passionate about something. The only time I knew about passion was in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Right. Which, you know, the two is, to me, it's different. It's not like, you know. But now I'm realizing, like, I'm passionate about being a coach. I'm passionate about being a speaker. Like, all of these things, and I'm passionate about helping people and wanting to help people and all of that. But something I realized, man, like, that dark space I was just in, and the roller coasters, the flows, most of it is fear. Like, and that's why I'm passionate about this, because I deal with it a whole lot, and it can be overwhelming sometimes, you know. The fear of and that's one of my biggest ones, the fear of the unknown, and fear of failure, and not being accepted. So it's like, shit, you know, you go through, and like, I did the 100-day challenge, and it was started that first time. It was really, really tough, because you have all these expectations and 2 people watch. And it's like, okay, well, I got to keep pushing. And then before you know it, you got, you know, 30, 40 people, sometimes 100 people watching the live. And it's like, whoa, okay, and so you're there, but then it's, the challenge is over. You've done it. So it's like, okay, let me breathe. And so now life kind of happens. And it's the same thing in business. You know, you're like, oh, well, let me go to a place, and you're feeling good. Even with the show, it's like we had that momentum, and I'll be honest, like, a part of it, especially the past couple of weeks, I remember, you know, we had to change the format a little bit, and I was just like, yo, is this him stepping away? You know, like, whoa, what's happening to the show? Like, well, we have to rearrange the recording dates and all of this, and it's like, man, I don't know. All of this other stuff starts going down in your head, and it's false evidence, really. Like, and you hear false evidence appearing real. Right. And then you get afraid to even ask the questions, and it multiplies, just like a positive energy can multiply. It's just like, I don't care about it, let me just keep steamrolling ahead. and that's why I want to help people with the fear, because I go down that negative path. And
Right. So I was
it
curious,
drowns out.
when you were saying that, I was just, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was thinking about just, looking at me as far as just, because I feel for the most part that, well, I believe, first of all, let me start with this. I believe that, passion comes from within, right? We create and we set ourselves down a path of something we want to experience, what we want to achieve, how we want to live our life, those types of things. And we can become passionate about that, right? It's just that energy, that commitment, that willingness to do whatever it takes to continue on a high pace down this road of experiencing this or having this or whatever that might be. So what I hear you saying a little bit though is about the external stimuli or the external feedback or those things that have been kind of weakening some of your passion. And I think that's where, especially as men, right? We so oftentimes look at these external things in our life that we feel are the things that move us forward and create happiness or fulfillment in our life versus kind of that inward journey and really understanding that passion or that desire or that willingness to do something that really provides us the highest experience possible, that passion that goes along with that, that has to come within. And I think that's where we have to be mindful of, and I fall into it at times of looking for external acceptance, those types of things. But I think that when those things come up, I want to make sure that I'm way surpassing that with the energy that I feel about myself, and knowing that nothing anybody else says or does is going to make me waver about being passionate about my willingness or my commitment to my meditation, my commitment to my family, all these things that we kind of decide this is where most of my energy is going to go. That has to come within. So I just wanted to share that with you because I sensed when you were saying that there were some of the kind of the conversation or what you were putting out there was what you weren't getting from outside was lessening some of your passion.
Oh yeah, it is definitely an extinguisher, or could be, and I allowed it to be, and I wouldn't say could be, but I allowed it to be, and I'm sitting here thinking, man, like that's the whole beauty of it, because all of this is new, for me, and it might be new for a lot of people, to where you might even be like me, well, hell, you don't even know what you're passionate about. And then you think, and I, as I'm sitting here talking, and it's almost like when you look at other people and you can see the passion, you see they're passionate about this. Like I would see Eric Thomas, the speakers, and even some of our colleagues, that we were in class with, and like probably written a book already, or, have this other stuff, and they're passionate. And you could see a feeling. It's weird. You see the feeling or think that they have that feeling, which they do, deep in, like you say, inside of them. And then when it's your turn and you see something and you're like, that's my thing. Yeah. And I guess for me, what happened is, I didn't necessarily feel anything magical going on, like this fire, and it's just like, I really want to do this. And so at that point, it's just a thought, and you feel it. It's really quick. You feel it like, damn, okay, I got to do this. But then, I guess it's almost like it's motivation a little bit, and I never really dug real deep as to why I wanted to do that. I never really locked in on a strong enough why, because logically it makes sense. You know, logically speaking, it makes sense. Helping people, all of that makes sense. But what's the overall thing that's going to push that forward? You know, and that for me, wow, thing light bulb, I lose focus on that a lot. You know, and even in this little moment, you know, that I just had, that's what it was all getting back to. Like, okay, well, one, why isn't it there? And then that led to, well, why are you even trying to do this? Like, even with the show, well, why? Like, you're missing fire even with the show. Like, you want it. I want it. Who doesn't? And I wouldn't say who doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is our thing. We have this. And I want 1 million followers. You know, that would be awesome. You know, but it's like, damn, what's the why behind it? You know, and that's pushing it now. And it's like, oh, okay. So maybe that was a little bit of reason. Now you created we have the Facebook page, and we're starting to go down all of these other things. I'm tapping more into the why versus just thinking about it. Like, man, I really, really want this to happen. I want this to happen. No, why do I want it to happen? And let's focus on that why.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm at now. And it's the same thing I coach. That's the first thing I like to cover, you know, like let's get to your why. Why do you want this result? Mm-hmm. And let's use that to focus on when the bad days happen, when you're not on autopilot, you know, just going through your everyday life, and now you have moments with yourself. That's the hard time, because this thing here is it can be a prison. You know, you gotta break that prison, break out of it. And that's when that why comes, when for me, like, I'm off from my job, and it's been a rough ass week, and he's asleep. And I know when he wakes up, I'm not gonna have any time, and this is my only time. But man, I haven't binge watched, so I haven't watched The Gifted. I gotta spend my time, and let's focus on your why. Right. Let's get some shit done. You know.
And I love that, because I think it was just, for you, the listener. I mean, I think when we're talking about passion, right? Because I think, like Cedric said, sometimes we can quickly understand and identify what that passion is. Again, one of the passions that I have is meditation. So for meditation, at least for me, it's about the journey of the meditation practice. It's not necessarily about reaching, Zen. It's not necessarily about, having just nothing but, conscious thoughts that are just always nourishing and loving and all these things that we all aspire to achieve. So, I think you, the listener, and for me, just kind of putting these words out there that I need to kind of tell myself and to you as well, said, is, if we focus on the end product, what the result is we want, so much to the point where we lose ourselves in the whole journey, that passion, we don't really understand how we can really stay in the moment with that, and just appreciating the fact that we have this innate ability to create just this flow of energy that feels so euphoric. It feels so connected to who we are as just human beings, just the basic needs that, that we have in our life, from shelter and food and all these other basic needs, just to be able to have a sense of, this strong willingness or purpose in our life to, kind of commit ourselves to. So it's, I think it plays itself out in different ways when we have different conversations about, it's not about the end, it's not about the final spot. It's about the journey, or it's not about taking the jump. It's about, how you land. So there's different metaphors as far as, kind of this whole topic. But for me, and for, you, something to, the listener to think about is, do I do this inward, kind of look at my life and understand what really is meaningful to me? And am I committing myself in a way that's going to generate momentum, going to, kind of lean into my edge, and it's going to be challenging at times. Sometimes passion can, kind of be a tough road because, you don't want to fail. You don't want to you want to just continue to feel that the positive results of the efforts that you're making. And sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes we get that setback. And again, it's knowing that those little steps along the way are the building blocks to the experience at the end that we're looking for, and just reflecting back on, yeah, I've made it. But even more importantly than making it is my passion and stick-to-itiveness and commitment all along the way. And I think that's where, I would encourage you, the listener, to really think about, what am I not committing myself to that really is meaningful to me in my life? What am I passionate about that isn't really, beneficial to me? Because I think, you can look at passion in different ways as far as, bad habits almost. I mean, you can passionately do something that's just almost destructive. I mean, I guess passion is probably not the best word for it, but my point is, we commit ourselves to something, we put all our energy into it, and passion, I guess, would be the result of a positive energy in the result, versus almost like obsession or being dependent upon, something might lead you down a different road. So it's almost that kind of yin and yang of commitment, passion, how it can, different roads you can go down, and which road are you going down, and which more nourishing to, commit to a road that's taking you in the wrong direction, versus focusing on passion and commitment that's taking you in the right direction.
Yeah, because man, you talking and y'all, it's like how it hit me just now was, and you're right, you can be passionate about negative or positive, because I was thinking, man, it was one time when I was in the drug game, and I was passionate about becoming a great drug dealer. Yeah. And my every action was, even the way I saved money, everybody was buying stuff, and I'm like, I'm doing it different, saving, so I can get bigger quantities, because I had a dream of I wanted an 18-wheeler of cocaine going down the highway. Wow. And every day I woke up, I was chasing it, and so for me, like, not understanding that passion, y'all, and now getting to this place, it goes hand in hand with how I look at the stuff that's serving me. How does this serve me in the long run? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, it was great. Even looking back now, like, would I not want the type of lifestyle that would come with that? Yes. But that doesn't serve my end game, and a lot of different things are in play now. I have a whole family, so yeah, that's not going to serve me the best at this point in my life. But even if I want that lifestyle and want to be able to take care of my family that way, yeah, great. And it's not about the money, but I have other means now. And now it's just looking at, okay, that's how I get to the passion. That's how I get to the feeling, is looking at, and really it's so crazy how it all goes hand in hand, like being present, being aware. Like, oh, okay, well, in this moment, I knew I wanted to act and take action towards my business or towards whatever goal it is. And then that next second, you could be thinking, man, I want to sit down and watch TV, right? Which one of those is going to serve the end goal the best? Right. And go down that, and that's how it's starting to grow, and it begins to grow, and before you know it, it's a habitual thing. You don't even think about, you have to make yourself take a break and honor yourself, So I would invite you guys to kind of travel that road, to look at it, and this, especially if you don't have a passion, or you're like, well, I'm not passionate about anything, or you feel like I'm passionate about all of these. start to look at all of, because you can be passionate about multiple things. You know, I'm passionate about helping people with fear, helping people quit smoking. I'm passionate about my family, how I best serve them. But look at the ones that you're engaging in and ask yourself, how does this best serve my end game?
Mm-hmm.
Is this chess move now going to put me in, am I getting myself out of check, or am I putting myself in checkmate? You know, which one, you know, and maneuver it to the best one that serves your end goal the best. Because I know now, even, you know, as a coach and having a show, man, that helps people, it's the more I become present and aware in those moments when I'm not on autopilot, it's helping me understand the things, like the things that I am passionate about, like smoking and well, no, quitting smoking,
Just say
fear,
you're
speaking.
passionate about smoking. You're trying to quit smoking. Come on.
Right. In my mind, I was thinking like passionate about helping people that smoke, but
I know what you meant. But I think when you were saying that, it was like, you know, how do we, you know, I'm asking myself this question as well as, you know, those in the audience that may, you know, kind of have uncertainty of what am I passionate about? So I guess what I would encourage you to do is to, you know, kind of take a step back even further and just clarify, what is my intention? You know, what do I really want out of this moment or this experience or my life? And by answering those questions or answering that question, that's going to give you some insight of what, you know, where your passion needs to be. You know, where am I not channeling my energy? Because, you know, you can have this clear intention of what you want to experience, and we've spoke about this before. It's like, then I've got to flow my energy in that direction. You know, I need to flow my energy to create, you know, this inevitable action or this experience to happen. And then, you know, why we're here and why I called you out, said at the very beginning, was, you know, it's having that accountability, right? It's having somebody in your life that, you know, kicks you in the ass to say, you know what, you know, you're committed to something. I've seen this, I've experienced it. You know, that willingness to ask that question. It's like, what's up? You know what? I'm noticing you're off your game. You know what? You know what's is there something I can do? Is there something you need to do? I mean, what is happening that's, you know, kind of allowing you to, you know, move away from what your passion is, what your purpose is, what your intentions are, and that can happen so easily. So it's and it happens to us. I mean, we obviously have these conversations. I'm assuming there's times where we may sound like we've got it all figured out. We don't. We're going to be work in progress for the rest of our lives, and I think that's what we realize, is that's our gift to ourselves and to you, is, you know, that unapologetically us that has fractures, that has, you know, failures, that has, you know, challenges, that has things that we aren't successful at, you know, a lot of no's, a lot of no, you know, no thank yous, a lot of, you know, things that could set us back in our, you know, in our process to be the best men we can be, to put this channel out there, to serve you, to serve our families, to serve our friends. And, you know, for me, you know, this channel, what we put out there, we're both passionate about. And I think that's, you know, at times, I'm assuming you feel that sense of passion, you, Cedric, you, the listener, me, myself. And it's just, you know, understanding that flow of energy, and how can we build upon that? How can we, you know, kind of not just accept that this layer that we're at, or this level we're at now in our lives, again, whether it's, you know, your career or your relationships, you know, what's next? You know, what can I do to advance myself in these areas of my life and create this sense of momentum, passion, commitment, knowing that that's our innate structure and innate, you know, part of who we are. The mind, the body, all wants to continue to get better, to be whole, to be, you know, kind of in connection with ourselves and others and the universe and all these other things. So why not create this passion for yourself, you the listener, that can allow you to experience life differently? And I'll leave with this, because I think I've shared this as well in the past, is, sometimes I'll question myself, obsession versus passion. So I think just throwing that out there, just to be kind of somewhat understanding that, there's a difference, of obsession and passion, where your obsession is more, you're doing something unconsciously almost and repetitively and focusing a lot of energy and doing something that may not be of benefit to you, but you're just obsessed with doing it, and there's no way to break that habit of just the road you're going down. So I'm gonna say my goodbyes, knowing that we've put a lot out there, and I know we're kind of running low on time here, and just give Seth a time to kind of create the closing comments to you. But just to, again, appreciate each and every one of you. I'm hoping that those that do listen in, if you haven't seen, we've got our Facebook page up. We're putting posting many of our episodes there, just creating some different content. We'd love for you to join us, post there, ask us questions, invite yourself into the cave. We'd love to have anybody, that wants to participate, come in and share maybe your passion, maybe your ideas around fatherhood, maybe your ideas around how to be a good partner, or, all these other topics that we talked about, or a topic that we've not even touched upon that you feel would be a cool thing for you, for others to really connect to and make that happen. So as always, truly appreciate each and every one of you, your commitment to us. Truly appreciate you, Ced, for revived passion that I'm feeling now that I didn't feel over the last week or so. So excited about that, and just want to leave that in closing, and just thank you so much for being who you are.
Oh, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. But y'all, he's back. Nah. Oh man, I appreciate y'all joining us. Yeah, for sure. If you haven't already, go over to the Facebook page like that. Yeah, because we have just a lot of different other content going on there too, just outside of the show, just some daily stuff going up. Cool. But yeah, man, the passion, guys. I know for me, man, I'm no different than most of y'all out there. So I would just invite you to just figure out, if you don't know what you're passionate about, how I did it is, I'm just looking at it now. What is something I could do every day for the rest of my life and not even get paid for it?
I like that.
You might not come up with something at first, but once you go into it and meditate on that and just, get the wheelhouse turning, you'll land on something. It might take you a day, a month, a year, but at some point you'll land on it, and then navigate that thing with whatever's going to best serve the end purpose. And that'll stop you from becoming obsessed with something. Because that's what I was kind of thinking, like, you can become obsessed with all this other stuff, and then I'm not as eloquent. So that word didn't pop out, but yeah, and just navigate that. But that really, really did help me to narrow down on some things that I'm passionate about. And that's just, what is it I can do every day for the rest of my life? And literally, if I had all the money in the world, what would I want to do every day and not get paid for? Yeah. And those are the things that I do. Like, I can do this all day, get a topic and let's talk about it and help somebody. So that's it for me, y'all. Man, I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Ron, I appreciate you. I appreciate man. You have no idea, man. Like, when I get them kick you in the ass texts and calls and call outs, like, what's going on? Like, that means the world to me, because you care. And I appreciate you. And I love you from the bottom for that, man. Until next time, y'all, we out.
Take care.